8:30 a.m., October 25th. Headed to 6 Points Apartments, up at 4 a.m. again this morning. So we're already 4.5 hours in and 2 conference calls already. 4.5 hours into the day, freaking grinding. Diving deep into operations for the next month here. This is a good time to just dive back into operations. I don't know what's coming as far as recession. I don't know, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna focus on what I can control. We need to double down on those things and focus on them. And you're gonna hear that out of my mouth a lot probably on Wanna Know Wednesdays coming up and Ballin with Spauldin. I'm gonna control what I can control and get into the dirt. And we're gonna fine tune operations and really crank it. Be prepared, basically be prepared for anything. But I cannot control what the Fed is gonna do. Therefore, I can't put much focus there. If I do, I'm only able to react. If I take control and focus on all the things I control in my business and start to adapt and make changes, it's gonna hurt a lot less if we do end up in a major recession. So today we got all new common area lights going and then paint with new flooring's gonna be coming in. This 178 unit project. Look how dark it is up here. And then look at how light it is down the next hallway. All these walls are getting painted, new flooring in this stairwell too. So much better. So at 6 Points is one of our variable floating rate loans. So right now we're strategizing of, okay, let's get our occupancy up. We don't necessarily have to be as aggressive where we're at, but we're trying to do all we can for retention. We're trying to do all we can to continue to take care of the asset, all we can to make sure it shows well for, new prospects coming through. Obviously rates, no one knows where rates are going. If you did, we'd not be here doing what we're doing today because you'd be so successful financially. You just wouldn't have to do anything if you absolutely knew where rates were going. So no one, including the Fed, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. So no one knows where rates are going to end up at. What the increase has done so far is obviously slowed a lot of things down. You're seeing a lot less transactions. You're seeing renegotiating going on. You're seeing some seller financing deals come back around again. When things like recessions or depressions happen, they typically, you wake up one morning and it's so bad, like almost overnight, that it's like, oh, holy crap, and it hits you like a train. There was someone the other day talking about how they had, at one of the properties that I overheard, they came in, they had a $500 balance. They're like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay it. I don't just have $500 laying around. And I look outside as she left, and because they're gonna do a payment plan with her, whatever, over the next month. She's historically paid on time and whatever, right? So she's got a payment plan, she's coming. She's not running away from us, so we're gonna work with her. But then she leaves and she rolls out in a Lexus SUV that's ginormous, and I'm like, so I look at that and I'm like, that's like 08, 09, where you get people, rolling around in things that they shouldn't be rolling around in. And so when I look at that, I'm like, that's something that reminds me of, 08, leading up to the Great Recession. And when you read about the Great Depression, same thing. So that's a sign. It's not a sign, right? That's definitely got to be a sign. Look at what's gone on, right? You've had massive inflation. Granted, like all the numbers I've seen, and I look at our payroll numbers at Spaulding Group, I see how much our payroll has increased and jumped up in the last 2 years. At the same time, people start to get crunched from a standpoint of like, you have inflation, you get higher prices, you're paying more at the pump. Thanks Joe, you're paying more for groceries. Thanks Joe, you're paying more for rent. And so at some point there's less room for error, less margin for error. And if things were flying high and you were getting all this free money in 2020 and you went out and bought a freaking Lexus, which I presume that's what happened because there was free money going out like crazy. She probably found a way to buy a Lexus. Maybe the Lexus is borrowed. I don't know. Things are a little bit tougher. The free money, there's still free money out there, but it's starting to go away a little bit. And prices have jumped so much because of this free money and all this money printing.
The free money stuff during COVID, because when people were, some people were staying home from work and they were getting, it was crazy unemployment that they were giving out, and then they were giving the stimulus checks. It's like, I thought about it at the time even, and I was like, this is probably gonna like screw stuff up in the next few years. I didn't think it was gonna come this fast.
We got to find some of my Instagram stories where I'm like, because I started talking about it right away. Anytime that you pump free money, you're going to make the dollar less valuable. So like when you make the dollar less valuable, when you print out, then this is going to become more valuable, right? Because you have more dollars fighting for the same goods. Let's use this example. Danny loves video games, right? So what's your favorite video game?
Counter-Strike.
Danny loves Counter-Strike, the video game. The first one that he gets is valuable because he can play it. And let's just pretend this is back when you get the discs, right? You get the discs, Danny gets that thing, shows up in the mail, he's jacked because he needs one because he wants to play it. What happens if that thing shows up every single day? Or it becomes worth less, right? Because you don't need more than one. Let's say day 2, you get another Counter-Strike. Day 3, another Counter-Strike shows up. Now you're basically willing to shell out. So if 10 days go by and you now have 10 Counter-Strikes, you're willing to basically shell out those 9 and trade them for a gallon of milk. When the money becomes less valuable and there's more of it, other goods are going to become worth more, or they're going to cost more.